How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's awake after the long night last night. But I'll just dive right in. So, traditional market research only captures what consumers are willing or able to tell us. But what about the signals they don't share? Now I want you to think about, is there a time that you went on a shopping spree and you didn't tell your significant other? Or did you lie to your friends about who you voted for? Or maybe you're telling yourself you're paying attention right now, but you're actually multitasking. AI can reveal truths that humans won't openly share. And today, I'll be showing you how we uncover these signals and turn them into actionable intelligence. So a little bit about me. I love data and simplifying it into actionable insights. When we first started Inferred Mind, we formed it under the notion that media influences people. And by collecting enough media, we could understand how consumers were going to buy, how consumers felt about specific trends, and how consumers were going to vote. So, traditional research misses subtle shifts in consumer sentiment. At Inferred Mind, we're analyzing hundreds of thousands of sources to extract valuable signals. We're tracking topics, which then relate into specific trends. Just like this water filtration device you see, it's similar to our approach. We're extracting valuable insights from a vast sea of data. So our approach has 3 pillars. Each one of these pillars is interconnected. We have our sentiment engine, personas, and actionable insights. Our sentiment engine detects real-time shifts in public opinion, which then fills into AI personas, which have specific backgrounds and specific interests that are tied to topics that are trending in the news. From there, we create actionable insights for decision makers to take steps into monitoring media, creating new messaging, and staying ahead of subtle shifts. So I'm sure the 2024 election is still hot and heavy on everyone's mind, but let's ignore the winners and losers and just take a second and think about data. So up here, I have 4 races from the Senate election in 2024, Ohio, New Jersey, Texas, and Michigan. I want to highlight that each one of these races was highly contested in public media, and millions of dollars was spent into TV ads, media ads, and rallies. For Ohio, for example, we didn't talk to anybody, but our prediction was 0.17 points off the actual number. Michigan missed it by 0.51. We were predicting who was going to win, but also predicting the margin. So how did we do this? By understanding who the people were, who the politicians were, and what they were campaigning for, the specific topics, and by creating personas that were keeping an active eye on these topics in the news, we were able to capture voter sentiment more accurately than traditional methods. And we didn't just do those 4 races, we did all 32 races, and we published all of our races before Election Day on the blockchain, creating an immutable and transparent record. All of our predictions can be found on the QR code here. And the results were astounding. We were 200% more accurate than traditional polls. But here's the catch. We didn't actually talk to anybody. We never surveyed anybody. We never called anybody. And we did this at a fraction of the cost with day-by-day insights. We were capturing the voices of Americans digitally, eliminating sample bias and human error. On the chart on the right shows some of our predictions for all the different races. The diagonal line through the middle is like perfect. So all of the races, some of them we had a little bit more error than others, but we were able to use our model to predict all of the different Senate races, where traditionally 1 or 2 polling companies would be monitoring these specific races. Now looking forward, I'm sure elections are still hot on everyone's mind, especially with Elon dumping more and more money into misinformation campaigns. Right now, this is Wisconsin Supreme Court race. It's scheduled, the vote happens on April 4th, and we're predicting Judge Brad to win. This was as of Monday. So still has a lot of time to go. If you want to follow along for updates, feel free to pay attention to our website or social media pages. Now, the same technology that predicts elections can also revolutionize brand strategy. We're helping crisis management teams, PR teams, detect and not react. So I want to dive into an example. These are some screenshots from our platform, and I want you to think about what brand this might be. Could it be McDonald's? Is it Target? Is it Tesla? All of these brands have been under fire in the media recently. Now, what I want you to notice is on March 3rd, we saw a significant dip in public sentiment on the top chart. And then day after that, sentiment stayed negative. On the bottom chart, it shows media attention. On March 12th, we saw a huge spike in media attention. Now, usually, all media can be described as good media, but in this case, it was not. And this is exactly the kind of silent signal that traditional methods would miss. And here's another clue. On March 10th, this is the stock price. We started to see this dip. Notice how our trends precedes major public narratives by weeks or months. So if you thought it was Tesla, you are correct. We were able to see this crisis occur 2 weeks before it actually broke into media. And this isn't just backward-looking analysis, it's forward-looking intelligence. If we were to work with Tesla's PR team, we would have been able to equip them with the right opportunity and actionable intelligence to keep them moving in the positive direction. Now, another example I don't have slides for is snail mucin. 18 months ago, snail mucin started to populate in our sentiment engine, which started to gather insights and interest from the AI personas we made. We started talking to L'Oreal and other major beauty brands, and they all just rubbed it off. But 6 months later, a Korean brand launched snail mucin products, and they sold out 600,000 units, a 500% increase than their normal product line. These are just a few small examples of how we're using silent signals to inform AI personas. So our platform, it isn't just one tool, it's a vertically integrated system. We've rebuilt all of our tech internally by scratch. It's all proprietary. Hadrian is our data collection and processing system. We're collecting data, indexing it, and then inferring new signals, new patterns, new trends. And we're doing this in real time to extract meaningful patterns. We've rebuilt specific LLMs all in-house, removing barriers and also putting on new guardrails, which helps eliminate some of the changes in black box rather than using OpenAI and Claude and other LLM platforms. We have full control over what goes in, and we're able to be more aware of what's coming out. So Agora is our customer-facing product. We take all that complex data and turn it into a simple, actionable intelligence that integrates into your workflow. Every morning when you're having a cup of coffee, you have an understanding of, is your brand trending in the right direction? What are your competitors talking about? And how do my AI personas feel about my brand day over day? So personas. On the surface, these look like demographic segments, but they're not. They have depth, and you can engage with them. And they are all ridiculously good looking. That's one main problem we're facing. But these personas are also connected to real-time news media and social media. They have real-time change in opinions. Rather than looking at surveys from OpenAI that change year by year, these personas are changing day by day with measurable insights. Now, this allows teams to test insights faster, have greater granularity at scale, and understand the why behind why their personas are choosing specific survey answers, all cost effectively. So what does this look like going forward? Right now, our personas are in a confined environment. They exist on our platform. They exist on Slack. They exist through APIs. But what happens when those personas become deployable rather than just informative? What happens when the personas become advocates of your brand, its needs, and your product? What happens when these personas give you signals before you see them? Are we going to keep doing the things that we always have been doing, or do you want to be a part of the future? Thank you.